I asked my friends one question, and in less than a day, I lost every single one of them at 91 years old. That was the moment I realized something terrifying. I had spent my entire life surrounded by people who were never really there. Let me ask you something. Right now, think carefully. If you called the three closest people in your life and asked them to sit with you, no phone, no distractions, just you, how many of them would actually come? Not later, not when they're free, but now. Be honest with yourself, and if you have an answer, write it in the comments. Because I wish someone had asked me that question when I was your age. My name is Edward. I'm 91 years old. And there was a time I was never alone. At 30, my life was loud. There was always somewhere to go, always someone to meet, always a reason to avoid going home to an empty room. People knew my name. They laughed at my jokes. They called me the heart of the group. And I believed them. I truly believed I had built something real. I remember my 42nd birthday. The house was full. Music playing in the background, glasses clinking, voices overlapping each other. Someone raised a toast and said, "To Edward, the man who brings everyone together." Everyone cheered, and I smiled. But even in that moment, there was a strange feeling inside me, something quiet, something I didn't want to look at, because even in a room full of people, I felt replaceable, but I ignored it, because silence scared me. Being alone felt like failure, so I filled my life with people. I said yes to plans I didn't care about, laughed at jokes that weren't funny, sat in conversations that meant nothing, just to avoid going home and sitting with myself. Maybe you've done that too. Maybe you still do. You keep yourself busy, not because you're happy, but because you're afraid of what you feel. When everything goes quiet, years passed like that. Friendships came and went, but I never questioned them. I thought more people meant more value. I thought I was building something that would protect me one day. But life has a way of revealing the truth, slowly, and then all at once. For me, it started at 67, the day I retired. There was a small gathering, cake, smiles, handshakes. "Don't disappear on us, we'll stay in touch, let's meet soon." You've heard those words before, haven't you? Tell me honestly, how many times have people said that to you? And then slowly disappeared. Because that's exactly what happened. Weeks passed, then months, and the same people who once needed me every day no longer had time for me at all. That was the first crack. But the real truth came later. When my wife Helen got sick, everything changed. The house became quiet, heavy, filled with long nights, medication, and waiting. I stopped going out, I stopped being fun, and that's when I noticed something. People don't leave all at once, they fade away. First, fewer calls, then shorter conversations, then silence. Not because they hate you, but because your life no longer fits into theirs. And when Helen passed away, the silence became unbearable. People came to the funeral, they hugged me, they said, "Call me if you need anything," but when I actually needed someone, no one came. That was the moment everything changed. Because for the first time in my life, I stopped asking, where did everyone go? And I started asking, were they ever really there after Helen passed away? And the house became unbearably quiet. I had more time than I ever wanted. Time to sit, time to think, time to remember. And most importantly, time to see the truth I had avoided my entire life. At first I was angry at people, angry at the silence, angry at how easily I had been forgotten. I kept asking myself, how can so many people disappear so quickly? But the longer I sat with that question, the more uncomfortable the answer became. Because slowly, Very slowly, I realized something I didn't want to accept. It wasn't just them, it was me too. I had built my entire life on noise, not connection. I had surrounded myself with people, but I had never created depth. And once I saw that, everything changed. So I decided to do something different. Not dramatic, not loud, just honest. I reached out to a few people, not everyone, just the ones I believe truly mattered. And I asked them one simple question, a question that changed everything. I said, "Can you sit with me for 1 hour? No phone, no distractions, just be here with me?" That's all. No party, no reason, no benefit, just presence. And do you know what happened? Most of them said they were busy, some didn't reply at all. And a few said yes, but never showed up. That question, it revealed everything. Because real connection is not about convenience, it's about presence. And presence is rare. That day, I didn't lose people, I lost illusions. And strangely, I felt lighter, because for the first time in my life, I stopped chasing something that was never real. Let me tell you something. That took me 91 years to understand. Not everyone in your life is meant to stay. Some people are there because it's easy. Some are there because it's fun. And some are only there when you are useful. But very few, very, very few are there when you have nothing to offer except yourself. And those are the people who matter. I had one, her name was Helen, and I didn't fully understand her value until she was gone. Now, I sit here most days, in this quiet room. No calls, no noise, no crowd, just me and my thoughts. And for the first time in my life, I am not afraid of it, because I've learned something most people never do. Being alone is not the same as being lonely. Loneliness is when you are surrounded by people and still feel invisible. Peace is when you are alone and finally feel enough. So if you're watching this right now, let me ask you something. Who in your life would sit with you in silence without needing anything in return? Not for a party, not for a favor, just for you. Do you have that person? And if you do, when was the last time you told them they matter? Don't wait, because one day you might find yourself sitting in a quiet room like I am now, wishing you had valued the right people before it was too late. And if this story made you feel something, even just for a moment, then don't ignore it. Take a second, like this video, and subscribe to this channel, because these stories, they aren't just stories. They are reminders of the things we forget until life forces us to see them. And before you leave, tell me in the comments, who came to your mind while listening to this?